Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another deck profile on the channel. So this past weekend was the Minnesota Regional. I went 3-3, so I scrubbed out. Unfortunately, I didn't see any of the matchups I prepared for, or the ones I did. I see a very few. I saw a lot of Rogue, so I wasn't able to do super well, but I still think this is the best version of the deck that I was able to take. I think there are a couple changes that I'd make, but maybe that's just more experience with this version of the deck now that we have the info cards. So let's just go ahead and get straight on into it. So up first, we have 3 copies of Dora Dora. This might be an interesting card to include. I really don't think that this card is by any means cuttable. Like this is the best normal summon by a country mile. Your next best normal summon is Tenpai Dragon Pydra. The difference is Dora Dora, its effect is only on normal summon. Pydra's on normal or special, so you really want to be specialing Pydra out from your deck as opposed to from your hand. So we are on 3 copies of Pydra. I do think this is cuttable down to 2. I was playing it at 2 before the regional. I just missed the 3rd one in a couple instances where I was forced into a grind game, or I drew a copy and I'd already used a copy, something like that. So I built this deck to be pretty redundant in the sense of like, I didn't want to draw the cards that I needed to special out of deck. So that's why I was playing 3 Pydra. It's also why I'm playing a couple extra copies of some other cards, but otherwise, I do think Pydra is really good. I would probably only ever play 2 or 3. I've never cut it down any further. Something that you should always play 3 of is 3 Chandra. This card is insane. Extender turns the whole deck online. The only card that's always a tuner in the deck, so you really need to be playing 3 of it. We're on 2 Tenpai Dragon Fadra. The reason we're on 2 is simply because I fear God. I did not want to draw the second Fadra, and I really did not want to be in a position where I had drawn it and I can't get it out of deck off of this Chandra. We're also on 2 Tenpai Dragon Genroku, the popular for the deck. I really think that you do need to play 2 of it. I don't think you play more, I don't think you play less. I think that is it for the main deck monsters. So pretty cookie cutter here. We're on the 3 Kaiman, the 3 Summoning, and the 1 Terraforming, and that is it. That is 20 cards in the main deck. You can easily cut it down to 18 if you wanted to remove 1 Pydra and then 1 copy of Tenpai Dragon Pydra. I really don't think anything else is much more cuttable. I do think Dora Dora is the best one. I was a little iffy on that, but people did convince me of it, and I convinced myself of it as I was doing the combos during the regional. Speaking of which, if you guys want to see combo videos, I'd be happy to go over them. On to the non-engine. I played a lot. This was a 42 card deck, 20 cards in the main engine. I'm playing 22 non-engine, so it was a lot. So first up, we have Dimension Shifter, the win condition. So you'll notice that I'm not playing Prosperity in this deck, and the reason that I'm not playing Prosperity is there's almost no way to kill under both Prosperity and Shifter. So you really do have to make a choice between Prosby and Shifter, and in my opinion, the choice is easy. It's Shifter. Why? Prosperity doesn't win games on its own, Shifter does. So pretty simple, that's why we're on 3 of it. We're also on 3 Ash Blossom and 3 Imperm. Pretty simple, just the best single target hand traps in the game. We're on 3 Nibiru. We really want to play high impact hand traps. That's why we're on things like Nib and Shifter as opposed to things like Valor and Bell. I really want to play stuff that really hit a lot and hit hard. Speaking of hitting hard, breakout card is Raigeki. This card is insane. Now you're probably wondering why I'm on Raigeki. Well, the truth is, under Shifter, the whole thought is Raigeki is really supposed to clean up whatever our opponent was able to assemble under the Shifter. Let's say we draw Shifter and Raigeki. Whatever they can assemble under Shifter, Raigeki probably deals with that. And if we draw something like Shifter Ash, Shifter Imperm, they shouldn't be making a board at all. That's anything we really have to chew through to begin with. So Raigeki just plays cleanup duty. Then we're on 5, count them 5 Abystials, 2 Druid's Worm, 1 Magnuma, and 2 Baldrake. You could cut like a Baldrake, but when I was watching the NAWCQ the weekend prior and like really trying to understand this format and go into it, I just felt like Bystials were so important, so valuable, especially in this deck, because using Genroku, if you have a Bystial on field, you special the Genroku and it becomes a 4, you can make Transcendent Dragon right away and protect your battle phase. Immediately from that, you don't have to do anything else that might be interruptible. So I really felt like Bystials were really strong. They were really good against Fiendsmith. They were really good against Yubel. They were decent against some of the other matchups. So I just felt like these were really, really good. The problem is I ran into not one, but 2 Kashtira decks, and I was not able to use Bystials against any of them. So that was very unfortunate. And the last 2 non-engine was 2 Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill. Now you're probably wondering, why did I play 42 with 2 Ghost Mourner? Well, the answer is pretty simple. I wanted more like negating interaction, less like interruption. And also this helped a lot for the siding, which we'll get into. Basically, just having, over a long tournament like a regional, having 2 cards that I always knew were coming out for 2 other cards when I was going first made siding a lot easier. So it honestly just took a lot of the mental stress and toll out of the equation for me and did make it very, very easy to side. So onto the extra deck. We have the Cookie Cutter, Double Bident, 1 Transcendent, and 1 Trident Dragon. I hate to say it, Trident Dragon matters a lot. You really do need this. Luckily with the tints coming up, it will be very accessible, but you really do need Trident Dragon. It makes such a difference in this deck. There was a couple times where with Trident Dragon, I actually OTK'd somebody through Dogwood because I had the Trident Dragon. So that was very, very funny. Up next, we have the standout card from the extra deck, Quibelt, the Blade Dragon. This card is actually how you OTK Undershifter. It's a really simple situation. You just simply need the Chandra, and you can OTK Undershifter, as long as your opponent has a cleared board, which Raigeki helps with. It helps to clear out their board. Quibelt's insane. It's a very strong card. Very glad I was playing it. Then we're on the Rose Dragons. I was on Ruddy Rose, Moonlight, and Black Rose. These never came up. There was maybe a couple situations where I could have made Black Rose, but I was really just struggling the entire tournament against rogue decks, so I don't really think it mattered. I do think Ruddy Rose is definitely a mandatory. Clearing out the graveyard against something like Branded really hurts them a lot, and also just having another 10 that you can go into is really nice. Finally, we are on 1 Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon and a tech I stole from the NAWCQ and someone from the Discord server that I'm in, Hyper Psychic Riser. This card is really strong against Yubel and Tenpai. It basically makes the games a non-game. They can't really do anything, especially Tenpai. None of their dragons can attack because all of their guys are lower than the attack stats, so they really have to have a pretty cracked hand to get anything out under Hyper Psychic Riser. And if you're making this, well, you probably have some hand traps to back it up. So that's it. And then the last 5 cards in the extra deck were the Seals, obviously, and then just the Promethean OTK package. Shout out to Elanum for letting me borrow the Raging Phoenix. I never came up. This is debatable. I know some people were saying like, oh, just run more utility synchros and then just play the Doolittle Chimera. You can still OTK under Shifter with the Doolittle Chimera line. I just wanted something that was a little bit more valuable, I guess, in terms of like, well, I can go Hita, revive a Pydra if I'm in the mirror match, and then, you know, do some other things, but it never came up, so can't really say anything. On to the side deck. So we're again on more hand traps, and we're on a couple of them. So first off, we have 3 Ghost Ogre. This is just a hand trap that I felt was really good against the Snake Eyes Diabellstar, or Snake Eyes Feedsmith line, and just a lot of other things, especially the Tenpai Dragon mirror match. And I wanted a lot of hand traps that were good in Shifter or under Shifter. So these almost always came in for the Raigekis in a game state where I knew I was going second and I knew I wanted to keep Shifter in. In game states where I wanted to take the Shifters out, I would bring in Drolls. These were just the best hand trap that I had that really did a lot against decks that weren't hurt by Shifters, especially things like Ritual Beasts. And then if I'm taking the Shifters out and I'm going first, I will probably be putting in Droplets. I figured these were just, you know, if I'm taking Shifter out, I need something that's, you know, good at breaking boards. So same thing as Raigeki, but Droplet also had utility. So we're also on Triple Cosmic. This card made a lot of sense. It hurts the Fiendsmith a lot. It hurts the Diabellstar Snake Eye lines a lot, so I just figured Cosmic was the best card. We're on 1 Duster. It's basically the 15th card. And the last 2 cards that we always took out for the Mourners for going first were the Sangen Kaiho, which sometimes is actually able to OTK people on their battle phase because of Kaiho. And then finally the Quackimera Drago. This basically made, in theory, this made the Yubel Fiendsmith matchup a non-issue. In reality, this basically just stopped a Raid Raptor opponent I had. But yeah, so that was really all that it did. But in theory, this makes the Yubel Fiendsmith matchup just a non-game. And that was it. So that is the Tenpai list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know if you want to see more lists. I do have a lot of stuff cooking up in the tank that I'd love to share with you. But I just want to let you guys know I'm still here and I am enjoying Yu-Gi-Oh! For once in my life. I know it's kind of weird. Everyone's hating on this format. I won't say it's a good format, but I have actually been enjoying it. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. If you really enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace!